Let's talk about World McAllister because, sir, what were you thinking? You sat there and told on all your high society, quote unquote, friends, exposed their secrets in your little memoir, and now you're shocked that you're not invited to the inner circle parties anymore? Even Bertha, who actually answered your calls, sat down with you, had to check you gently and firmly. You told too much, and there are consequences. McAllister tried to defend himself, saying he wrote the book so regular people could see these so-called gods were not human. I understood that. But if you're a friend, you can't be going to tell my business. Baby, society doesn't want transparency. They want secrets. And now they've all turned their backs on him. Now, I love Mrs. Fish. I don't know why, but her personality just sends me. She was pissed off too, by the way. She's done with him. So she was all upset. And they're like, oh, what did they say about you? And she said, oh, that my husband and I like cheap wine. And everybody was like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, oh, you serious? Now let's talk about the slap in the face he gave to Mrs. Astor. McAllister was on a roll because he told her to her face, when I met you, you were just a sobbing woman whose husband paid you no mind and cheated every chance you got. The disrespect. She kept it classy and said she would never speak to him again and politely turned her back on him. Now, Bertha is going to be the one throwing the parties now because Mrs. Astor feels bad about leaving her daughter out of the list when she's doing her parties. So she tried to cancel and they was like, So now she's just handing it over to Bertha. Now, Bertha is saying, I'm tired of the whole excommunicating divorce people thing. And I think she's planting seeds of her own potential divorce. She's calculating 10 steps ahead of everybody. Now let's pivot to Miss André, the snake in the house. Speaking of Bertha, baby. The butler and staff set a trap by leaking fake info and boom. Miss André ran straight into it, giving away the fact that she was getting paid $30 a story. Now, Oscar, he was grieving hard after losing John Adams. And listen, Miss Agnes knows something. She's not saying, but she's watching. I love her facial expressions, though, because you know she's smart. Like, she's smart as a whip. And she's just paying attention intently. After she was like, well, why would John Adams give you a house? But you should see the facial expression. She says one thing. She was like, oh, because it was in our family. And he was like, no. And I'm looking. It's crazy because you can actually read her face, even though she's an actress. It's like, she's definitely aware. She's just choosing not to force a conversation she really doesn't want to have. I'm glad that Oscar was able to let it out and cry on Marian. And Marian is like, she understood something, but she just can't understand everything. And I'm glad the house is there for Oscar because it's sad. You can't help it. You love who you love. You know what I mean? And it hurt me, the fact that he was saying that when John Adams passed, he had to sit in the back as if he was like a distant uncle. And that was his best friend. Like, more than friends, but you understand what I'm saying. Oscar is slowly starting to live in his truth, baby. I got to see how he deals with it next episode. Now let's get to Marian because she's dead wrong. She ended the engagement with Larry without even letting him explain, with no proof and no conversation. But karma came quick because at the end, Jack, who's thriving on his own in his new house and he is about to get his staff, he let Marian know, like, Larry was with me the whole time. Nothing happened. Marian's face cracked. She was ready to cry again. But girl, you did this to yourself. Speaking of Larry, he really stepped up this episode. He secured a copper strike in Morenci and brings major news back to his father. He is a real businessman. Growth. He has paved the way and made his own money. But whew, the cliffhanger at the end, George Russell gets a visit from a courier who walks in and he's like, yeah, I have a message from George. So the assistant is like, I'll take the message. Baby, the courier delivers him a shot Shots fired. He took the courier out and then proceeded to hit up George. We will see what happens next episode. I mean, George kind of like missed a couple and he was able to get out of Dodge. I'm sure he got hit at some point. So we're going to see what is going to transpire next. Do not let these couriers in this damn house next time. We're done. Let's not forget Peggy, who refused to open up about her last past marriage. Now, she should have cleared the air. They was getting that close. She know what kind of mama he got. Yo, before I get my heart invested, you should have told him. Like, it is not a fairy tale and you got this looming over your head. You should have told him before his mother did. Like, especially if everybody knows that's not a secret over there. You should have opened your goddamn mouth. So I don't feel no way. I really don't. And if he's fickle because of that, then it wasn't going to work anyway. And you can do better then. It's fine. He could take him and his mama and be out. But I think it was more so the fact that it's a secret and it was a shocker. Like, don't let his mother embarrass him. You understand what I'm saying? Like me. It would be worse if someone else had to tell me something about my relationship than the person that I'm with telling me. And finally, shout out to Gladys. The Duke is clearly feeling her and they basically are a couple now. I mean, I know they was married, but now they real married. Her mom invited them both to a gathering, giving Gladys her official entrance into society as the leading lady. They even kicked the sister out, told her to go get her own place and stay out of grown folks' business. I loved it. Gladys is growing up and we are here for it. Make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. And it's Amina seeing it.